Good stuff. Well, Michael, I would be remiss if I didn't let you talk a little bit about your experience out at Bethesda. You interviewed Todd Howard, talked a little bit about the new Starfield stuff. You got to see a long demo of that.
Look at us.
Of course, you snuck in a couple Elder Scrolls 6 questions.
I sure did.
Do tell.
Yeah, I won't go on too long just because, you can watch the 20-minute interview I did with Todd Howard. Very good conversation. And you can check out my preview video or written on the Starfield updates. I guess I'll start with talking a little bit about Starfield. New DLC called Terran Armada that is a lot more combat focused, it seems. And to me, that's music to my ears because I actually really like the gunplay of Starfield. I think that was one of the more surprising elements of it. It's like, oh, Bethesda made like actually a really good shooter, a better shooter than an RPG, if you ask me. But that's cool to see that they. I'm really curious as to what they're doing story wise because I think that is one of the elements that is lacking in Starfield. I think it was not it wasn't a narrative powerhouse in my book. But they had elements of it in some of their side quests. If you played it, you know what the Crimson Fleet is. And I think that was one of the best Bethesda side quests, period. But that was kind of one element of a much larger game. So if this Terran Armada DLC can kind of channel those elements into it, I think this might be worth returning to just for that. But the Free Lanes update, there is actual space travel in Starfield starting on April 7th. You can go into space now. They have figured out a way to weave space between the different planets, so you're not just flying into a planet for 9 hours and then clipping right through it. If you've watched Alana's video on that, I think that was really funny. But I think that spoke to like the limited scope of what Starfield was, and now this feels like, as I say in my preview, them taking the ankle weights off, and you can fly to those planets. You have booster jets, so you're not just like sitting in space with nothing to do. They've inserted a lot of POIs and things you want to discover in the quote unquote free lanes. So you can travel within star systems between those planets. And it feels like, man, this is what Starfield should have had to begin with. But you know what? They got there. And I talked to Todd a little bit about that. Was it technical limitations? Was it just you just needed more time? Was it engine problems? So you can check out his answer on that as a little tease to go after you watch this podcast, go watch the interview. But yeah, I think Starfield is in a better place than it was at launch, as you would expect, with a major update 2.5 years later. And the PS5 version is coming out on April 7th as well. This might be, I say that, and I think Todd has said it himself, is that this is not Starfield 2.0. And this probably won't convince people who've already made up their mind about Starfield and whether or not it's a game that they're interested in. But for those who have stuck around with it and who want more Starfield, this is kind of what they want. And he talked a lot about how community feedback was essential for figuring out what they wanted to do with Starfield post-launch. It kind of explained that, I had asked him, like, you have a million different people asking you for a million different things. How do you balance the demands with what you can actually do and what you want to do? And so he was thinking, like, holistically, if a community is asking for all these different things, there's a core element that we can address through this update. And so, yeah, people want all these different things, but you figure out a way to please everybody by overhauling core parts of the game. And this is what came out of it. A lot of intricate details about how Starfield plays now, or how it's going to play with the April 7th update. I must say this update does not hit until April 7th. So you check out that preview, but it's pretty cool. If you like Starfield, this is more than enough of a reason to return to it for at least for a little bit and check out that DLC. It's free if you have the premium edition and $10 if you just bought the regular edition. And Starfield is permanently $50 now, base price. Okay. So that's cool too.
Nice.
Yeah. If I'm being honest with myself, I don't think, given what's coming out in the next few months, I don't see myself having time to go back. For sure. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But first, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. It's unfortunate that actual next gen Xbox news dropped when neither of you were able to be on the show last week. We had a great time. I had a great time with Fixer and with Nug. We had great community feedback too. I really appreciate everybody welcoming those guys with open arms to Unlocked. But I did want to let the two of you weigh in. Obviously, Miranda, you were in the room for the keynote. Thanks for checking out this clip from Unlocked, IGN's weekly Xbox show. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to watch the full episode at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of Unlocked drop every Thursday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.